All right, thank you everyone for coming. It's pretty crowded here, so let's start. We have a lot of things to cover today. So, first we will start with a short introduction, what No Wallet is, our recent highlights, all that stuff, just to be on the same page. Then, my partner, Chief Nice Officer, Head Polkadot Ambassador, Leemo, will continue with staking results. We'll show how you can stake in Nova, why it's a best wallet to stake with, and some data about it to justify. And then we have some amazing announcement as our third part of the presentation. So, how about we start? Can I have a little support? Right. Cool, thank you so much. So, No Wallet is a self-custodial wallet fully funded by the Polkadot Treasury. It's focused on the secure management of the funds, privacy, respectful. It has all the features you want. We spent 4 years of passionate development, and we will not stop until the Polkadot is not stops. Polkadot is unstoppable, so we'll develop it as we go. You can see the key features. It's a lot of them, and this is also why I wanted to highlight it. Building the wallet for the Polkadot is a mission of million things. You have so many things just on the Polkadot itself to implement, to support. On almost daily basis, you need to catch up with everything, and you need to make sure that you provide seamless, amazing user experience for the Polkadot users. But on top of that, we have 100 of the networks in the Polkadot ecosystems, which have also amazing features that you also need to support. So, how you can be concentrated, how you can build a product that satisfies everyone in the ecosystem. And this is a mission. This is a really, really hard mission. And how we approach it in the Nova Summer with our No Wallet is the following. First, you need to define your users. Who are them? What are the target users you're trying to satisfy with your product, right? And basically, the user is defined by the way how they want to use the app and also how to onboard to the app, because this implies directly on their usage. Completely new users, they want to see a seamless onboarding, kind of like a Web 2-like, just like to log in with Google, Apple, whatever it is. But if you want to satisfy the advanced users, security maxes, you have to come up with some secure storage, like top-notch secure solution. Hardware wallets, proxies, think about all of this stuff. Next, we have tons of utilities in the Polkadot ecosystem, and you need to define which you will be focused on, because what you want to end up with is the product that everyone would like to use. And finally, you have to come up with a seamless, secure, and fast user interface that people will love to use, right? Because we don't want to have a clunky an application that constantly crashes and whatsoever, right? So this is our focus, which we're using in the No Wallet. And I would like to highlight just 3 features that we recently released and how they basically showcase our combination of these target audiences for the newcomers, advanced users, and basically how we make this app awesome. Just recent update that we released introducing the cloud backups, which provides you multiple features. First, we solved the issue of easy onboarding to the Polkadot ecosystem. Now, people can onboard with their Apple and Google accounts, and that would be super secure, right? Because this is what one of our top priorities, to make the Web3 easy available and secure, right? The advanced users at the same time, they can benefit from the cloud backups in a way that they can use the same set of the wallets simultaneously on the multiple devices, or they can change the devices on the fly. For example, you want to change your phone to the newest model, right? It would be a hassle to re-enter all these wallets, like if you have 10 of them, right? It's just like a nightmare. The next one is the push notifications. That is basically a feature for everyone, right? New users would like to see the staking rewards, to see the changes in the balances. Advanced users, they would like to see more complex stuff, maybe like a governance. Like as soon as the new referendum on the Polkadot comes, they would like to be notified. They would like to be notified about the status changes, right? So we want to provide a super useful notifications that will help users to utilize the Polkadot more. And the last but not the least, the latest feature is basically the new Polkadot Ledger app. This app basically reduces the clumsiness of the ledger to use in the Polkadot ecosystem. You now have just one app for all the networks, and there are no limits for the functionality in this app. So this can be used by the beginners or by the beginners in the context of the joining the Polkadot ecosystem from another ecosystems, right? If they already have a ledger, it's now much more seamless process. And for the advanced users in the Polkadot ecosystem, they now have no limitations on the features they would like to use with their ledger. All right. So that would be a short introduction to the No Wallet, what we have been working so far, and basically what we have achieved. And now I would like to pass the word to the Leemo, who would focus more on the staking as one of the main products in the Polkadot ecosystem. So can we have some support?
Thank you. Hello, everybody. You can hear me, right? OK, so as Anton said, staking really is the main product in the Polkadot ecosystem currently. And you can tell that because there's 58.5% of all DOT is staked, right, by 60,000 users. So because there's more than 50%, it's the main product. So this is why we focus very heavily on providing the best possible staking experience for everybody, not just newcomers, but pros as well. So for newcomers, as Anton just said, we recently released the one-click onboarding. So you can onboard to Nova Wallet with your Apple ID or Google account, and your seed phrase is securely and encryptedly stored on your cloud. So there's no more hassle of having to manage your seed phrases, which is really, really great. But you can always optionally use the manual backups like we always have been. We have one-click staking. So you literally just select DOT, enter the amount of DOT you want to stake, and start staking. You don't need to worry about, should I directly stake with validators? Which pool do I choose? You don't need to worry about any of that anymore with Nova Wallet. And finally, for the newcomers, we have staking management. So you can easily track all of your rewards. You can track how much you're staking, if your stake is active, or if there's something you need to do, like change your validators or something, Nova will tell you directly from the staking screen. And for pros, as Anton said, we have hardware wallet support. So we support the new Ledger app, and we also support Polkadot Vault. We also have proxy accounts. So you can have all of your DOT on a cold storage wallet and set a proxy account as your hot wallet so you can manage your validators and change your rewards destination and things like that. And of course, you can select custom validators whenever you want. It's very easy, all from Nova. These are all features for pros. On top of that, we have 0 fees. We make sure you get maximized rewards with our algorithm for validators. You have staking hints, so when you start your staking journey, you have all the information right at hand, how long you have to unbond for, staking APY, and all this kind of stuff, right? And of course, you can stake with as little as 1 DOT. Oops, and all these other things you can see on the screen that we spoke about before. Now, that's all well and good. Like Anton said, we've spent a lot of time improving the UX for Polkadot. But how has it actually affected the staking landscape, right? It's working great. So this graph is the new cumulative DOT staked with wallets and LSDs in the ecosystem since the 1st of September 2023 up until the end of May 2024. And you can see, in terms of the new DOT being staked, Nova Wallet is in the lead with just over 10 million DOT being staked. However, some people had a bit of a head start over us, so we're also going to look at the total DOT staked since September. And, well, you can see that Nova is now in the lead in terms of total DOT staked compared to LSDs and other wallets in the ecosystem, which is really, really awesome. So the numbers, right? We have now over 11 million DOT staked with using Nova Wallet in just 6 months. So it's the #1 wallet in the ecosystem. That overall, in terms of all the tokens that we allow you to stake with, that is over 300 million total value staked via Nova. And a figure that is really awesome, we have over 15,000 people staking using Nova Wallet. And if you remember what I said earlier, there's 60,000 people staking overall. So 25% of everybody staking DOT is using Nova Wallet, which is absolutely amazing. And of course, the highest DOT growth in terms of staking across the ecosystem, wallets and LSDs. Now it's the part you've all been waiting for. I'll hand back over to Anton. Give him a round of applause, because this next bit's going to be awesome.
All right, sound check. Everything is good? Cool. Right, so we just showed you the introduction for the No Wallet. We just showed you the focus of one of the main features for the Polkadot with how amazing it is and how the data is proof that it is amazing, right? And that's basically a very interesting introduction to what our team is working on right now, because we satisfied a lot of feature requests, which is already available in the network, right? So users can easily onboard to the Polkadot. They can super easily stake on the Polkadot. But now we want to go further. We want to elevate everything. We want to help network to create a brand new experience, to brand new utility on the Polkadot, right? So we started to think, how can we achieve it, and what are the issues, or maybe like desires which users might have, but they just don't know. So we started to reflect, right? And basically, for the onboarding, we started to reflect what we did. The barrier, the mental barrier for the people to join the Web3 ecosystem, not only the Polkadot, but just to come to the Web3, is a really a lot of questions. Whenever they download the Web3 wallet, they see the passphrase, right? So what is the passphrase? What is the private key? Why do I need them? Why do you need 12 words? What will happen if my phone will break? Like, how can I manage this privately, and all of this? Like, the whole concept is like a mental barrier for people to join, right? Just to join to the Web3, right? And we basically solved it with the Web2 like onboarding, which is like one-click onboarding. So, okay, now we have a people who can easily onboard to the Web3. What's next? Let's talk about utility. Let's talk about staking, which is the main utility, right? Who is the validator, right? What is the nomination pool? What is better for me? What is slashing? And all these questions that I was observing for the 4 years of building in the Polkadot and in other ecosystems just popping up by the new users who are trying to achieve the goal, who are trying to try something new, but they were blocked by all these things, right? And we solved it. We solved it with one-click staking. People can just enter the amount of dots to be staked, and they can just start staking. So no barriers here. And at the same time, for the onboarding and for the staking, our advanced users still have access to all of the features they need. They have access to the hardware wallets. They have access to basically non-cloud backup option of managing your funds. And in staking, they have access to, as Leemo mentioned, proxies and all the other advanced staking management features, right? So now they started to stake, right? They onboarded to Web3. Now, like, how can they use this, right? What they see is just like magic coins in the wallet, right? What is the utility? Is it safe? Is it real? Like, what's going on, right? So how can I use it in a store? How can I convert? How can I, like, what's next? And this is basically another mental barrier for the users, because they can overcome all the challenges to join our ecosystem. They can overcome all the challenges to start utilizing our ecosystem. But this almost means nothing if there is a huge mental barrier which prevents them to understand that this is real, that all of the things that they are doing in their wallet is actually a real thing that they can use in real life. And we decided to solve this issue. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present you a brand new product in the Polkadot ecosystem, which is collaborated by Nova Summit Technologies and Mercurial, and it is a debit cards on the Polkadot. So, this is a brand new product which we're about to release this September, that will be available and running on the Polkadot, and the users will now have access to actually spend their magic coins across all of the world where the MasterCard is accepted. If you want to see how exactly it works or the numbers, they're on the following slide. So you can see the limits, you can see that it's super fast to issue the card, it's super fast to top up the card, because the Mercurial as a company, as a payment provider that we collaborate with, are heavily invested in the Polkadot ecosystem, and they want to make sure that you guys have the best UX possible in this regard. For the region coverage, we start with Europe and UK, and in the next year, this is going to be expanded to the LATAM and US. And of course, as you saw, the card is real. It's just a regular debit card. It has the number. You can add it to the Apple Pay and the Google support. But what really excites me is how we can go further, right? We want to not only provide you a solution that basically helps you to off-ramp your tokens and then utilize somewhere in the world, right? Whenever the MasterCard is supported. What we really want to do, we want to create a brand new utility. We want to increase the amount of transactions on the Polkadot itself. And how we're going to do it? We are working heavily right now on the self-custodial cards, which will be a next iteration on it, right? And if you think about it, that unlocks you unlimited possibilities on the Polkadot. The really low-handed fruit for imagining this is basically a staking. You can today set any account in the Node wallet to be an account that receives your staking rewards daily, right? So you can imagine if you have an account which is basically a self-custodial card, right? And its balance is basically the card balance, the MasterCard balance, right? That account can be used to receive your staking rewards. And as soon as you have it, you will see the push notification no wallet, and that immediately, without any mental barrier, basically provide you opportunity to spend it, right? Anywhere in the world. So we have a situation in which user don't need to think about all this like overwhelmed process of how they need to convert these magic coins to the real utility in the world, right? So this would be there. So this is what really excites me. And imagine how the parachain teams can utilize these self-custodial cards, right? With which use cases they can come up with, right? And build on top of it. This is really great. Regarding the roadmap, it is the following. So we're planning to release the Nova Wallet Spend card, which is basically would be an off-ramp solution. So you send your tokens to be a balance of your card. So this comes, as I mentioned, on the September. Next one, you saw the presentation yesterday by Bjorn with the new Polkadot app introducing the race. So this will also be released in the Nova Wallet later on by the end of this year. And then during this time, we are designing the self-custodial solution, which we are aiming to release next year, right? And that solution would be available to everyone in the ecosystem to build on top or to use just in a Node wallet. All of this is basically our goal, and we are on our way to onboard 1 billion users on the Polkadot. And we would like to invite everyone to join this journey and basically support us. Thank you, everyone.
Wow. Wow. Congratulations for this announcement. Guys, we have 6 minutes left. If you want to come back on stage, I have some questions. Maybe the audience has some questions. Are there questions from the audience? Yes, of course. Hope.
So there are a few things I want clarity on based upon your presentation. Number one, I saw MasterCard logo. So is this a translation of DOT into any currency in the world through MasterCard as a debit card in your Nova wallet?
So in September, you would be able to use any token on the Polkadot Asset Hub or a Polkadot network in order to transfer it and be a balance of your card. So basically an off-ramp solution, right? And later on, with the decentralized cards or self-custodial cards, we are thinking on making them only bound to the stable coins, right? It's easy mentally for the user, right? So you do whatever you do, and then basically send the stable coins on the account for this card, which is mirrored to be the balance of your card, right? And then we're basically working with the payment providers to maintain this connection, right? Basically, this is how would work the decentralized cards.
But it's strictly through MasterCard?
Right now, yes.
Is that your partner?
Yes, exactly. But the beauty of this solution that we creating the, in terms of the self-custodial pathway, right? Yeah. We are creating technology using the primitives on the Polkadot network, right? Which means that we can find like several partners who can plug to this solution and basically provide the user, let's say, if the area where they live, the Visa is more popular option, that would be the way to go, right? To set up the self-custodial card, which is utilizing the Visa payment solution, right? And then if they live in an area where the MasterCard is dominating, then this is the way. But on top of this, all right, my slides disappeared. The race is also an alternative, which is completely different thing from the Visa and MasterCard. It's more like store-oriented, right? So this could be a pathway for the people who basically living in the areas that Visa and MasterCard are not really popular, but the race is. So the thing is that we are pretty agile and pretty flexible with options. Our challenge would be to come up with UX that is not overwhelming with all these options and basically a streamlined experience for users to satisfy their needs.
So in other words, you're creating the pathway to do this. MasterCard is the start, but you're looking at other alternatives in different regions of the world.
Yeah. You can think that we're creating the family of the products, right? But we have a really great team who is in Mercurio, right, to start with, and I'm pretty sure that that would be the majority of use cases already satisfied with this solution. But it doesn't stop us to basically expand it.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you so much, Joe. I would be also interested in, because it looks best in class, right? Super easy to use, super easy to onboard. The user experience is great. There must have been some challenges, especially building this for Polkadot, since the user experience on Polkadot is not the best. You really abstract this to high quality. Can you just like summarize it a bit? What kind of challenges were, or what were the hardest challenges for you to overcome?
Yeah, I think the main challenge previously was we have this powerful layer of technology, which is the Polkadot, right? It's fast, it's reliable, right? But previously it was not really cheap in terms of pulling up something like that, right? Now we had observed that the community proposed several improvements to the Polkadot Asset Hub, and also not only like the fellowship and the community was working technically reducing some prices, let's say the deposits for the proxies, which might be utilized for a solution like this, right? And the fees and all that stuff, but also the companies like a Velocity, for example, right? Been working hardly on expanding the coverage towards the on and off-ramp providers to support the Polkadot Asset Hub, which is like the main driver for, let's say, the transfers and anything related to the assets in the Polkadot, right? Or one of the networks that satisfies this, right? So all of these combinations make this solution to be not only possible, because it was previously possible, but it was not competitive. But now it is a competitive solution, and it is feasible and realistically looking like a good product in the world.
It does, yeah.
Right.
Congrats, yeah, very good. So you see also the community effort that we needed here to make Nova actually, or create this experience.
The beauty of the Polkadot is that we all working together, right? If it was just Nova Summer trying to achieve this, we would need a lot of resources and we will most likely fail. But if we have a support from the fellowship, if we have support from the teams who are working on the BD, if we have a support from external teams such as Mercurio and others, united, we can achieve such beautiful things that will be just much, much better than what is available in other ecosystems.
Beautiful. Nicely summarized. Are there other questions from the audience? Yeah, please, the hot mic.
So will users have to KYC then?
Yeah.
They'll have to do full KYC?
Right. For the cards, yes. At least with existing payment providers, but I assume that this is like, since we are using the MasterCard, this implies the KYC. You cannot go around it, right? So if you use the MasterCard, which is supported all across the world, you have to pass the KYC. If you use the Visa, you have to pass the KYC. The race solution, though, might be different. So we have to keep an eye on that. And the race might be omitting or have a conditions in which you don't need to use the KYC, right?
super quick, and how you go about the existential deposit, right? Because that's always a hot topic. So how do you deal with, I mean, because in Asset Hub is one, and Polkadot Relay Chain is another one.
Yeah. So V1 cards, which are like off-ramp cards, they don't require you anything. That's basically transferring from one account to basically the payment provider account. In our case, it's Mercuria, right? So existential deposit has nothing to do with it. But the self-custodial cards, this is where you need to have the proxies and all that complex structure. We may design the solution without the proxies, we will see, with a huge support of like ecosystem builders. But as for now, that was reduced, like proxy deposits, on the way to compete with existing solutions of the self-custodial cards. Because if you take a look on them, they requiring pretty much initial payment for the card, like 50 euros, for example, right? So right now, we can achieve the self-custodial solutions using primitives on the Polkadot, which cost 10 times less than 50 euros.
Yeah, and you can actually brand it like that, like a deposit to get started. More than like, you have to put the existential deposit. They will be like, what?
No,
if you say it in a way that it's like, oh yeah, get your self-custodial
exactly,
by depositing in 10, that's a good way. That's cool.
Yeah, you have to encapsulate it and feed it in a way that is really straightforward for you.
That it's competitive to what they hear from other, like
exactly.
you said, like, to have your account, you need to put $20. It could be the same kind of, yeah, cool, thanks.
Nice, we already get user feedback here to improve
yeah.
I know there was another question, please. Maybe last question for today, or for Nova team.
Thank you. In terms of KYC, is there a cooperation with Kilt and Deloitte? So if you already did, for example, in KYC for your wallet, that you can reuse it for the MasterCard as well?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think everything like a KYC related and like a payment layer is not what we handle by ourselves, right? This is cooperation with Mercuria. As far as I know, they use SumSub, which is like a KYC provider, right, for AML and all this stuff. But it doesn't stop you, it doesn't stop us, sorry, it's a long talk. It doesn't stop us to iterate on this solution, right? To collaborate with the Kilt, right? What we want to do now, we want to achieve the solution in September, right? And to do this, we decided to collaborate with Mercuria to basically use the infrastructure they provide as for today. But for the future, we are very open to collaborations.
Great question. All right. Anton, Leemo, I think you guys are around. Maybe you also have a booth. Please meet the team and discuss more how to improve Nova Wallet. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.